All right.
All right.
What's your name?
Jordan Thompson.
And what do you do?
I'm an all-rounder.
Flicked away beautifully. What a shot that!
This field, swing and a miss. Yorkshire are through. Yorkshire have made their way through the finals day.
Firstly, for the people who don't know, can you explain what type 1 diabetes is and what it means for you in your day-to-day life?
Yeah, so type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease. It's where my body attacks the insulin-creating cells in the pancreas. As a result of this, it means I have to take daily insulin injections with my food to make sure that I counteract the carbohydrates from the food and bring my sugar levels to an optimum level. A day in my life looks like waking up, I have my breakfast, pretty much a similar breakfast each day to get into a routine, take the same amount of insulin each day for that breakfast and move through the day. Lunch and dinner, again, insulin injections, and then before I go to bed I have one more, what we call long-lasting insulin injection to manage myself through the night. It's just a matter of managing things and making sure those sugar levels are at an optimum level for me to do my daily job. If these go high or low, then it can cause problems for me in the long run.
So obviously that's quite a big thing for you in your daily life. And when were you diagnosed and how did that make you feel?
Yeah, so I was diagnosed when I was 16, which in terms of type 1 diabetes is actually considered quite late. It's usually carried through generations and passed down, and in my family it's never existed. So as you can tell, it's probably quite a shock to receive that information when I went to the hospital. I was in hospital for 3 days. The nurses were kind of trying to get my blood sugar levels back down. My blood sugar levels at the time when I went into hospital were 44, which for anybody who kind of knows any general information about diabetes, any normal person's blood sugar levels will be around 4 and 7. And mine were 44, so that's kind of 10 times what it should be. And as a result of that, it can make your blood acidic, and I go into a thing called diabetic ketoacidosis, which can create bubbles in your blood and make your blood acidic. And in the long run, that can cause comas and adverse effects for the body. So it was important that I got to hospital pretty quickly, and luckily we managed to get through that, and here I am today.
And obviously in your profession it must be quite a challenge for you. What does your day look like in the season, playing during the season, then obviously in the off-season training? Yeah,
so it differs greatly through the year. The best thing for a diabetic is to be in a routine, and the body likes routine. When I'm not in a routine of playing every week or training most days, then the body doesn't really understand what's going on. So I have differing blood sugar levels, whether that's too high or too low. But during the season, if I'm playing a 4-day game, I try and make a routine out of it. I'll have similar things for breakfast, so I know how my body will react throughout the game. I'll go out and I'll bowl my spell, whether that's 5, 6, 7 overs. Then I'll make sure I come off straight after that, just to make sure that everything is in line for me to perform the rest of the game and the rest of the day. In terms of the training, we have kind of 6 weeks off from the end of September to the middle of November, and that really it can be tricky for me. I think me personally, I expect I've got high standards of myself in sport, in my job, but also in my kind of how I look after myself with my diabetes. And when I'm in that 6-week period, my body kind of doesn't understand why I'm not moving as much. I'm obviously enjoying myself, going on holiday, and the blood sugar levels kind of tend to rise, and it can be frustrating at times, but I've just got to remember to be positive at all times. It can be a tough thing to look after, and I can't do anything about it now, apart from just doing my best.
And how was the news sort of received by your teammates and your coaching staff? And they obviously must play quite a big part in helping you manage that.
Yeah, like you say, it was obviously the coaching staff now is different to when I was first diagnosed. It was 10 years ago now, so it was a new thing for everybody. I don't think the lads had seen it. I don't think the coaching staff had seen it, especially in professional cricket. It's not a common thing, and it was a matter of getting back into a routine of training and playing and working out how my body reacts to different things. And going back to when I was actually first diagnosed, I didn't think I would play again. I didn't understand what type 1 diabetes was, and I wasn't sure what it meant for me in the long run. I thought that was pretty much it, me not being able to run around, play sport or anything like that, but luckily the nurses and people like that helped me through and guided me on how I manage. Now the lads obviously know that I need to keep myself going to obviously help the team, and the coaching staff know that as well, so if I need a break or if I need a little bit of time off from doing certain things, then they're more than happy to aid me, and people will help me out.
So you're obviously quite a big name in the cricketing world now. How do you use your profile to help raise awareness of type 1 diabetes?
Yeah, so that's the thing. I think social media is such a big thing now. I work a lot with Diabetes UK, whether that's kind of through email, speaking to people. COVID's obviously hindered that quite a lot, but any kind of workshops that pop up that I'm available to go to, I go along and try and help out. I get kind of families, parents, or even teenagers messaging me just asking for help or asking for suggestions, and I do that as much as possible. If I can, like you say, use my profile to help people, then that's obviously beneficial for me and for them, because I can draw on experience and I can also listen to their side of the story as well. So I'm more than happy to go through Diabetes UK and use them, and they've been very good with me. I know quite a few people down there now, and if I'm ever in any kind of trouble or I need a lot of help, then I know that they're only a call or an email away to help me, and that's obviously great from them.
Perfect. Well, thanks a lot for your time today, Jordan.
No worries.